Go for it.
Like,
Do
if
it.
it sounds like a rod's about to
Do
come
it.
out of it, I'm sorry.
Oh. Won't know until you start it.
Let's see what this does. Lights. I'm genuinely scared. Genuinely scared. Let's see what it does. Aw. Oh, what did we do wrong? Okay, let's try that again. Now that we have a neutral safety switch. Okay. Ah! All right, guys, welcome back. It has been a minute since we've filmed anything on the channel or with this truck in general, but here we are. I've been very busy, and Allison and her dad have been working over at the other shop, getting the Dart and the Dakota ready, and I've been here trying to get this thing ready. So it's hard to kind of film everything, and there's just not a lot of time. You know what I mean? We're down to like 14 days until sick week, and who knows if this thing's gonna make it or not. It's always been my goal. Then again, I would have the same amount of fun just riding around with Allison and the Dakota all a sick week. Yeah, a little stressful. You know us, we love our deadlines, but we're making good progress. So I'll show you guys what we've been up to and catch everybody up to date and up to speed. A lot of wiring and plumbing, and a lot of teaching myself how to do all this as I go, you know what I mean? So that's why it's kind of taking so long. But all right, I'll show you guys what I've been up to. Everything's pretty messy because I've been working on everything, and also I just I haven't been able to kind of clean up a lot of the wiring and put it into loom and kind of like tie it all up. But a lot of this stuff, like this is my neutral safety for right now. Till I get the actual one wired up. This was just to see if the starter worked. But so I got, you know, some stuff to clean up, right? But we made this nice little mounting bracket for our speed wire relay board, and this thing is freaking awesome. It has made my job so much easier, especially since I don't know how to really wire. This made it really easy and simple. Super nice. Like, let me go turn on the power. Billy had it laying around and said I could have it, so thank you to Billy. It also came with this nice switch panel that I'm gonna use like 3 switches. But so all the lights come on, and it tells you if the relays are good, and it also tells you which ones are on. So you hit the ignition, and you've got ignition, and ignition accessories comes on, and got our fuel pump working, and our water pump also working. Starter works as well, but I don't want to hit the starter too many times because I don't have oil in the motor yet. But this is super nice. I'm really happy with it, and it's made my life very easy. So been learning how to wire, you know what I mean, and I want to do it all right. And so I was doing a lot of research, asking, you know, I go every day asking my dad questions, Jeff questions, Billy questions. I try and spread it out so I don't overwhelm them with questions, but trying to make sure I size wire correctly and that kind of thing. But so we ran a 4-gauge. You know, I should start here. So we mounted the battery in the back here, and I decided to do 2-aught battery cables, which I highly regret, and I'll never do this again. But since it is such a long truck and the battery's in the bed, I want to make sure that we sized our wires plenty. You know what I mean? You almost can't be overkill. If you can fit it and you can work it in, you know what I mean, you got the room for it, and you don't care to hassle with enormous wires, then, you know, you can't really go wrong. But they are very heavy and hard to work with, and one day maybe I'll switch to something else, but it goes to the cutoff switch. So we have this short strand of red wire going to this side of the cutoff switch, and this side is the other side of the cutoff switch, and that goes to the front of the truck. So everything is on the switch side of the system, meaning everything should work as far as when I turn the power off to the truck, everything should cut off, right? So we also have our chassis ground here. I decided I had a 2-aught cable on this, and I hated the way, I couldn't make it look nice. I originally had it going through this hole, and it was just in the middle here, and I didn't like it. So I ended up getting 2-gauge welding cable, which is what I should have done for everything, is this welding cable. It's definitely nicer looking, and it's flexible. But so that chassis ground comes down here, and I had Billy TIG weld a 3/8 stainless bolt to the frame. So this will be my chassis ground, but also everything, all my accessories back here. So water pump, fuel pump, and fans all come to this ground stud as well. So they're technically grounded directly to the battery, but also to the frame and the chassis. So that's kind of nice. And then I put this power stud up here, and this wasn't my first choice, but I wanted to do this because my dad gave me this little relay module here. It's got 6 relays in it, and this is for all my stuff in the bed. So I'll have 2 fans, water pump and fuel pump. And I did this because, well, Jeff kind of talked me out of this, but it seems silly. You know, I got all these relays up here ready to go, right? They're all fused, all nice. But those are really long power wires. So all these wires coming out. These red ones go directly to power, so that's where that power stud was under the bed. And then these ones go to the actual accessories. So as you can see, I have yellow for the fuel pump, for E85. How nice is that? And then blue is water pump. And so these tiny 16-gauge wires are signal wires, which I hate that I had to butt connect them, but it is what it is. So all the source, I don't know what you call it, goes under the bed through these grommets, and then my fuel, my 10AN line will go through that hole. But and then our signal wires go up the bed here, and then this is the power for the ECU. Goes directly to the battery, and it goes through a pass-through through the bed, and then through the cab right there. And so really we just have long signal wires, and we don't have these these super long power wires. Ideally you'd want your power wires to be pretty short, so that's why I did that. So basically those relays back there are taking the power, and we have really short power wires, everything's back there, and then we just have the small signal wires coming up. And so these relays activate those relays, basically. I hope I explained that to where you guys can understand it. I'm kind of a moron, but so far it works. I like how it's turning out. Again, what we'll probably do just to kind of tidy this stuff up is run along the bedside and kind of use some clamps and make it look all nice. And as far as this goes, I put this here because when I put the dash in, I've already test fitted it. When I open the glove box, this should be right in the glove box. So that's going to be really nice. It's hidden, but it's also very easy to get in there, diagnose problems, see if we have a fuse or a relay, that's bad. So I'm excited about that. Should be very serviceable. And then I think last video I showed, we got this Motion Raceworks roll bar mount for the Dominator. And all of its plugs come out the back and go out the firewall. And again, I got to tie all that stuff up and kind of make it look nice. And then our operator shifter, which I'll put back in here eventually. already has wires coming off of it for a brake light, reverse light switch, I guess you'd say, and then a neutral safety switch, which goes there and then somewhere else. So I gotta wire that in before we go. So down here is there's that 2-aught cable coming from the battery. It goes up here to the bulkhead. And then I have a 2-gauge welding wire that goes from here to the back of the head on this side, as well as the ground wire, the tiny ground wire for the coils. It's also back there, bolted into the back of the head. And then we have another 2-gauge cable right here that goes to the other head. So we're here to here, and then here to there. So our engine is very well grounded. What I do need to do still is make a ground cable that goes from the chassis to the cab, because not that I have many things grounded just to the cab. Like maybe I'll have some lights or something grounded to the cab eventually. I don't know. But right now, I'm relying on it to ground through basically the roll cage, because we got rubber or polyurethane body mounts keeping it off the frame, right? But I mean, there might be a few spots where the cage like touches some metal and that's pretty much all that's grounding the body. So I got to figure that out. That's a pretty easy deal, but so yeah, we should be good on grounds. I still need to run an alternator cable. We're going to do a 1-wire alternator. This isn't the one I'm using. It's just for mock-up. Something's wrong with this one. I think this is the one that caught on fire on the Falcon. But I don't know. I'd like to see if it works. It's $400 I wouldn't have to spend if it does work. But we're going to make a cable that goes from here to the other side of the cutoff switch. I believe is how we make it work without my engine like continuously running even after I hit the cutoff switch. That's a problem that a lot of people discuss, and there's all sorts of ways to get around that. I'm going to follow Jeff's direction, which was put it to the hot side of the cutoff switch. So that's what we'll do. We also got our 16 AN water lines run. Hopefully it's worth it in the end. It was very expensive, very difficult, and not fun. But it looks great. I'll say that. So there's our Davies Craig water pump. I actually was going to mount it under the bed somewhere, and then Tony talked me out of it because that would create the line from there to there. We have fittings welded onto the radiator. There would be an uphill line where it would be trying to, I don't know, it'd be very hard to get it primed. I'll just say that, because it's trying to suck it uphill. So we decided to mount it directly to the radiator, which worked out actually pretty nicely. I'm happy that I had enough room because I didn't account for that. And then we had to do a 180-degree fitting there. It all worked out. It looks okay. Again, I have to tie everything up, but it goes over the frame rail, and this will be up. But there's plenty of room in here. It's inside of the wheel tub, so I'm not really worried about it. Might get some rubber on it if it's fast enough to do burnouts. And then, again, I got to tie everything up, but we got the 16 ANs, the 16 lines running all the way up the frame rail. This dual can setup from Motion. This is the overflow, and this is just the fill can, I guess you'd call it. So that's where we put our water in. We got a radiator cap there, and it goes through the bed, down through, and goes into the radiator right here. So, and then this is the return, and it goes all the way up through the frame. I gotta tie that up. Got a lot of tying up to do. So it comes up the frame rail and goes into our 417 water manifold, which looks awesome. Not too shabby. One problem I did run into was my fuel pressure regulator and this sexy ICT billet bracket. I planned to go here, mounted to the head. Well, I had no way to really route the water lines in a nice looking way. So that got ditched, and instead what we're gonna have to do is I gotta pick up some more fittings to do this, but we're gonna mount it directly to the rail and I don't know, see how that works, I guess. The way that we're plumbing the fuel system will be, so we're gonna do, now look, this is my fault. I didn't order the fittings because I didn't realize this was a 12. I'm an idiot. I thought this was a 10 and this was an 8. Just didn't check. But one day we'll make this line a 12 into the pump. So these are 8s on this MagnaFuel 750. So I'm gonna have to get some 8 to 10 ORB fittings because this is a 10 line, and we'll go into the 8 on the fuel pump, and then the out is an 8. And Billy talked me into not running a pre-filter. We'll see if I regret that. But we will run a post filter, and I'll probably regret that, but whatever. So we'll go through the bed right there with the fuel line, and somewhere on the frame right before it goes up into the rails, we'll have the post filter, and it's gonna come up. And the way I'm gonna plumb this is it'll probably come up right through here somewhere, and then either 90 or 180 into this rail, and then maybe a 45 and a line and a 45 into this rail, and then out, and then our regulator right here of some sorts, something like that, and then the return line can go straight through. And I have to get some 10 to 8 ORBs for this too. We got a plug in the bottom. This is a 3-port deal, and the way I'm plumbing this, I only need 2 ports. It's in and out. So just trying to do it the simple way. We'll see how it works. And then the return will go up that frame rail and into the return. And then we have a vent on this side with a rollover valve. So we got a 25-gallon fuel cell. I got this off Summit. It's a Rhodes Race Cars fuel cell, 25 gallons. I don't ever want to run out of E85, so I think we're gonna try and start this thing Friday. So tonight, it's now Thursday morning. I'm gonna plumb the fuel system today, and as long as there's no major hiccups, we should be able to start it. I gotta prime this thing still, so we There we go. Caught up to speed. That's most everything. It's been quite a learning experience, but I've enjoyed it. I actually really like wiring. As long as it all works, I'll be happy with it. But yeah. The longest should be number 2. Number 1, sorry. I'm just going to leave them like this for now. Should go on this one. Yeah, it's a nice workbench.
Really, right? Well, this worked out great, man. I like it. I really like that. That worked out awesome.
I don't know. I honestly don't. I really don't. I might leave and let you guys handle it.
Stop it.
Is it still showing 4? There's no way that's right.
That was a sensor that I found at the newer shop, so it could be bad.
Pump's cavitating, but it can't be. I mean, the truck's leading downhill. It's no doubt it's gravity feeding there, but you ready?
Okay.
Looks all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
not for the return,
Okay.
but I also run it that
So if
way.
that serves as an
Plug it.
in, that
Yeah.
was being used as an out, but we had it on the return.
Yeah.
Okay. So the regulator was doing nothing. At that
Yeah.
point.
I don't have to turn the regulator around, right? These
No.
2 ports don't matter?
Better than that.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense. It makes sense why this wasn't responding at all to.
Ooh, that's a fuel.
Yeah.
That's better. Let me
Turn it in. I think it still should be. Check the return. I think it was returning before. Yeah, he's a 15. And the weight coming back here. 17, 18, 20. This is good. Starting to jack the pump now.
I'm still about all the way in though. I'm about out of. I mean, that's really as far as I can go.
30.
That's 30.
That should be enough to start it on that.
That's about as all as I can go.
Really? So we need to get a different spring for it then. What is the part number on that? Because it should have been 30 to 75.
That should be 100 psi. He's past the nut.
Go for it.
Like
Do
if it
it.
sounds like a rod's about to
Do
come
it.
out of it, I'm sorry.
Won't know until you start it.
Sounds like a tractor. I got another one that sounds like a blub 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 blub.
I heard combustion.
You still got those extra mufflers laying around?
Yeah. I heard combustion. That's exciting. I know what's wrong with it.
God, it sounds terrible. Should put a small block Chevy in it. Oh, how long do you want to run it for? Because I got to add transmission fluid as it runs. I mean,
Like 15 seconds.
okay, yeah, just let it run for if it starts. God, it sounds terrible.
Sounds terrible. It sounds great.
That thing started up and ran, dude.
No oil leaks and no fuel leaks, I don't think.
Oh my gosh, it's so great.
God, it sounds horrible.
I thought once it started,
It's open header, dude. It's
Yeah.
gonna sound better when
Sounds
you
like
put
a bracket
mufflers on
car.
it.
turbo cam on, yeah.
Yeah, it's got.
Oh my gosh, I think it sounds great.
How about that? It sat there and idle.
Can we set it back on the
Good
ground
job.
so it doesn't look like a trophy truck?
Wow.
You did it.
Live.
Yeah, low it is.
It's bad. It wasn't knocking, dude.
Well, just give it a minute.
Give us some beans.
It had 60 pounds of oil pressure.
That's exciting.
It never goes that easy. Like, usually there's a plug wire on wrong or an injector
Yeah, I mean, there's so
plugged
many,
into the wrong spot.
so many things to, so many variables.
A ground not hooked up.
All right, Tommy, you start it.
I don't know. Is it you? I don't know.
Fire it up.
Give her some cold grabs. While you're starting.
These self-tune at all?
Yeah,
It's all in you. Really.
it takes 10 or 15 seconds for the closed loop to actually kick on.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's gonna be loud. I'm not worried your mouth sounds sick with you.
It's very lean. I need to put more fuel in it because you can, if any throttle at all, it tries to die.
So okay. There's the hand wrenches. Oh, I got it.
Got yourself a fender.
Oh, it's plenty of room.
Where's the bolt? Oh, down in there?
Yeah.
No, that's the hood, isn't it? Is it the fender?
Yeah, both right there. You see, it's all just about landed.
Nice.
Plenty of room.
Feathers are there, stay out thin. It's awesome. Nice.
Really thin right there. Just hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, you might want to think about a little patch across that.
This,
Jeez.
it's not going to be holding anything.
No.
There ain't no time to find fenders.
You've done a thing.
He did a thing!
You've done a thing, Thomas. A big thing.
My carburetor guy wasn't here, but we got it running.
Oh, the float levels were way off on that. Bill, we were struggling with it.
Dude.
It sounds like a tractor, but we'll fix that.
So, I'm sorry, I sucks that I wasn't here to witness
It's
it.
okay. I didn't think it would start that easy. The only thing I messed up, and we didn't have any leaks or anything, but I had the regulator plumbed wrong. I thought it didn't matter which port was what.
Oh, no, it does.
Yeah. So the bottom is the return. Once we
Right.
fixed that, it finally had enough fuel pressure to start, and it was like,
Cake.
boom.
Really?
So it's more like
Well,
no oil leaks, no fuel leaks.
It's done well.
he has. Buddy, I'm really proud of you.
It's not knocking yet. It's not squeaking. So
Stop saying yet.
I don't hate it like I thought I would.
well, I mean, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't smell like a small block plate.
But visually, I don't hate it like I thought I would.
And I gotta tidy up more wires and stuff. Like,
I think the fact that it's got the billet deal on the front end right there for the water pump, that's pretty sexy. I do like the ICT valve covers. Although they're not polished, they could be. If they were polished, I'd really like them.
Yeah.
I love the headers.
those are Chinese specials.
I like the throttle body.
It's all right.
It's nice.
It's just the best one on the market.
I don't hate it like I thought I would.
That's a huge compliment.
Well, there's that.
Yeah. He did a thing. It runs.
You gotta do it one more time now.
Oh,
You gotta do it one more time.
I was walking to the house and I heard.
A new noise.
It almost sounded like Dad's John Deere.
Gosh.
That's a thing around here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Done a lot of things lately.
Awesome.
Proud of him. So proud of him. Trial by fire, man. That's what I told him.
Now we can get some water in it, get the nose on it. We'll get really
Start
excited.
wiring lights. I'm gonna finish the
Wiring
brakes
lights,
and I'll put the
brakes,
clip on it.
yeah.
I think like 2 weeks ago I was at about a 15% chance. Then when I started seeing my fuel pump working and like the starter was working, I was like, okay, I'm at about a 40% chance. Now I think we're up to about a 75.
Ooh, I think you're doing good. I think once you get the brakes up on it,
Yeah.
and you got transmission fluid in it, and you can, like, it actually moves itself around in the shop, that's a huge weight lifted.
Yeah.
You know, when it's not something you gotta shove it here and shove it there, and, like, once it moves and stops under its own power, yeah, it looks wonderful, man. I mean,
Your next 7 days are gonna be huge. What you're gonna accomplish over the next week.
Yeah, everything up to this point was
the
tough.
hard part's done. You've
No.
gotten the hard part.
The wiring the lights is gonna be it's gonna be tough.
That's
Because I've never done that.
You've never done any of this. This is the hard part.
Here it is.
You've never done
Look.
any of this.
Even if some of that stuff is just temporary for sick leave, just get it done. You're too close
Like
to
wire
finish.
nuts and
It doesn't matter. Just make it work.
yeah. Yeah, I've come this far. I
I see
can't
you. I see you over there.
can't
I see you
fail.
behind me, boy.
I am so jealous of that freaking shifter.
Oh, I
I
know.
can't even explain it to you.
Hello, Dow.
And cup holders.
I got 4 cup holders.
I've got air conditioning, no cup holders.
I've got more cup holders than seats.
You don't have cup.
It's Tommy's Christmas lights.
Just bought it back in there. So what I'm asking you is, can I snip these and butt connect my new harness to all the
Yes.
lights? Is that what I should do?
Yeah, but I wouldn't do it. If you're gonna start pulling these connectors out, just leave as much wire on them as possible for now.
Yeah.
So cut it clear back at where's the firewall? Where's the past the?
Well, good luck.
Where is it?
Where's the big connector there?
It's down there by his ankle, I think, right there.
Oh yeah, right here. Here it is. So just pull all the loom off for now. Just strip it
Oh, God.
and keep as much wire on there as possible. Because and here's why I say that, because the way those are wired from the factory is, I'm sure it comes from like the driver's side and comes over to the passenger side headlight. Why just keep all that wire?
All you gotta do is cut this connector off, and then butt connector. your
Start
wire
pulling,
right
just start
there.
pulling the wires out. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I'm cutting that harness really short, and that's scary.
No, what I'm saying is just
You can
start.
curl it up underneath the dash, just for now, and then butt connector the stock harness to it. Match the wires, you're good.
You just might not want the butt connectors out here. Is what I'm saying. So just don't make that decision now. Just strip this thing down to nothing and then go from there. Is what I would do. This is the whole thing. That's front to back, isn't it?
That's
'Cause
there's a
trailer-
headlight harness in there and a
There's a
tail
trailer
light
harness on there too.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that we got that figured out, because by the time I got this thing to this point and I was like gonna try and find fenders and doors, I was like, the only thing left original to the truck is the cab and the frame. Everything else is unoriginal at this point, and I was like, it kind of lost its soul. But at least now it has the original door panels and doors, the dash, like everything can kind of go back and kind of keep some of its soul. So everything's not just pieced together. Dude, I got more cup holders than I got seats, because my dash has 2 cup holders. That's 4 big gulps. Speedway big gulps. Or froyo. Because down there in Florida, the racetracks have bomb-ass froyo.
Tommy stops at every gas station.
Every racetrack for froyo. So, yeah.
I was impressed how easy it started up and ran.
Yeah.
It means you did a good job. You didn't rush anything. You didn't half-ass anything.
We'll see. Like, it's going
Obviously,
smooth
there's
so
some
far.
tidying up to do,
Yeah.
but the main thing is it runs. Doesn't make noise. Has good oil pressure.
Yep. I was happy with the oil pressure, because there's a lot of little things, like you can mess up the O-ring on the pickup tube and all of a sudden it's low oil pressure. You can, so many little things that you can mess up so I was just worried, I put it together so long ago, but it seems to be fine.
It's ready to go 490s. Let Capizzi tune that thing.
Right. So yeah, we'll end this video, but I'm gonna continue to work on it tonight after I get this video up, put water in it, make sure that all works, and I want to weigh it again. We'll put all the transmission fluid in it, that way it's most all the way there. And I'm hoping, the last time we weighed it, we got it back from Mike's when we got the cage done, and we had most of the parts were in the bed and stuff. I didn't have wire and didn't have fluids, and it was 2650 with the heavy front Camaro brakes.
I'm gonna guess it's 3,000 even.
You really, dude, I would be tickled if it's 3,000. Like, that'd be insane for a full-size truck. We'll see. I don't know. We still got like the unimportant list. Like, I've got an important list and unimportant. Unimportant being like tailgate and rear bumper and front bumper. Those things might never get done, but we'll see.